I see like 3, 4 niggas running through the crib, all black on, running through the crib and shit. One nigga run to the front door. I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Shot the nigga. Bow, shot his ass. Bow, 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 bow. All the niggas run out the door, they run out the door.
The paper trail. Yeah, 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 yeah. For the love of money, niggas come around. For the love of money, some stay around. For the love of money, what a nigga will do for the love of the money. Yeah. I gotta shake it. Money niggas gon' bark and they bite like a motherfucking dog. Gotta party like a motherfucking dog. For that cat, I am gon' roof. And I'm barking at that cat, and I am gon' take the roof off. And I'm riding that ride. Rip, leaning to the left, but I'm steady on the only right. I'm swerving with a purpose, A nigga been sipping on that purple. A nigga been cheaping on that purple. Cause I'm getting money, Cause I'm getting money. And I'm laughing all the way to the motherfucking bank. And I'm telling her, tell me later if she thinking what I'm thinking. Damn me getting money. I woke up.
Run crib, all black, mask on, running through the crib and shit. One nigga run to the front door. I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Shot the nigga. Bow, shot his ass. Bow, 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 bow. All the niggas run out the door, they run out the door. This nigga on the floor.
A new wave of speculation is spreading across Middle East, and this time the focus is on one of the most fights. It's me, Three, and reports from the Iranian media. It has triggered dramatic claims about the safety of our baby, Benjamin Netanyahu. Some outlets that are linked to Iran say that the Israeli leader may have been injured or possibly killed during a recent missile and drone attack carried out amid the escalating confrontation between Iran and Israel. But wait, Here is where this whole story becomes complicated. These claims, ladies and gentlemen, they have not been confirmed by Israeli authorities. But still, speculations has been spreading quickly because of a few unusual developments that observers have noticed in recent days. According to reports published by Tasmin news agency, Mr. Netanyahu has not appeared in public for several days, something that is extremely rare and typically during a wartime. Iranian commentators they have also pointed out to tighten security around the prime minister's residence, along with the postponement of some diplomatic engagement. Now, you know what? These developments they have fueled the rumors across regional media and social media across the world. Some commentators in Iran claim that Israeli prime minister he may have been caught in a missile or drone strike targeting Israeli leadership facility.
Bang bang. So we got God versus Allah, huh? On the main stage. That is exactly what's going on. Mind you, this is chess, not checkers. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You a pawn, but you want to be a rook. Huh? Frontliner, huh? Let me tell you right now, ain't none of them pieces on none of your boards. Yeah, they just out here playing it anyway. They don't give a damn if you think you're not part of it or not, nigga. What you gonna be? Which piece you gonna be? This is God versus Allah. Chess, not checkers. Who got the best creator? Huh? Did your creator create you great enough to defeat me in this WWE match? Huh? In this grand theater? Huh? Well, well, well. The beginning. Hmm. So right now, your boys Iran is saying, man, what in the hell is baby? Okay, they still looking for baby. They said that wasn't a real shot of him out there. Huh. They say that they ain't really seen him, huh? Where is baby? Huh? These people is freaking delusional. You hear me? You hear me? So the propaganda news is definitely saying that the Iranian news is saying, hey man, we don't know what a baby is, but he better show face. So you wondering why they said that, hey, we're gonna take out the whole regime of Iran. If we know it's theater, mind you, they even call it theater. No matter if they say this is where the WWE match is being staged at to take place, is what they call theater in real life. So we're just getting down to the punchline of it. So is it a leader for a leader in this theater? Now, mind you, the overall succession of this play is to make you know that there is an inevitable thing going down, and it's called a religious war. Ha! Can't even make it up. I wish I could. I tried. I tried. Lord knows I tried. But you know what? It's God versus Allah. And we can't stop it. It's part of their script. And in that script, you gotta play it like it's chess, not checkers. And if you don't know how to play chess, you might be shot out of luck. You feel me?
However, again, analysts say that such claims they should be treated very carefully. In fact, during wartime, information warfare has become a very powerful tool, specifically for Iran here. Governments and media outlets they often release statements designed to influence the public perception here, weaken the morale of their opponent, or create confusion among the population. In the meantime, Israeli leadership structures also designed to continue functioning even during emergencies. The country maintains extensive security protocols and underground command centers intended to protect the senior leaders and ensure continuity of government and during the attack time. Well, the larger context is a rapidly intensifying confrontation across the region. Over the past few weeks, missile strikes, drone attack, military operations, they have expanded between Iran, Israel, and several allied groups that are operating across the Middle East. Now imagine in such a volatile environment, rumors about the safety of national leader, it can spread quickly, specifically when information is limited and official statements are delayed. So the bigger question now, it is being asked across the global media is very simple. Where exactly is Israel's prime minister? Until clear confirmation emerges from Israeli officials, the claims remain unverified speculations that are circling through the regional information channel. But the very fact that such rumors are spreading, it shows how important things have become. In modern times, but also with information, narratives, and psychological pressure aimed at shaping the story of the war.
Iranian media has been questioning the whereabouts of Netanyahu ever since the Iran Revolutionary Guard Corps claimed that the Israeli Prime Minister may have been killed or wounded in a missile strike on March 2, Israeli newspaper The Jerusalem Post reported. The IRGC-linked Tasnim news agency published a report on Monday, triggering speculation that Netanyahu may have been killed or wounded, reiterating the claims made ever since the war broke out. The Tasnim news agency assembled a series of circumstantial points, including the recent video clips of Netanyahu's absence, reports in Hebrew language media about tightened security around his home, and the postponement of a reported visit by Trump's special envoy Steve Witkoff and son-in-law Jared Kushner. According to the Jerusalem Post report, Tasnim's report also focused on a claim attributed to former U.S. intelligence officer Scott Ritter, who alleged that Iran had bombed Netanyahu's hideout and that his brother had been killed. Tasnim's report had noted that the claim alleged that Iran had bombed Netanyahu's hideout and that his brother had been killed. Tasnim's report had noted that the claim had not been officially confirmed or denied. According to the public information, Netanyahu delivered an official statement published by his office on March 7th, a day after he was spotted visiting an Iranian missile impact site in Beersheba.
And to the Iranian people, I say this. I have been speaking to you, and for your sake, for many, many decades now. The moment of truth
Everything is so green screen right now. We don't know if that's actually baby. We don't know if that's him. All I'm saying is, geez, I was again talking with the mic down, not paying attention. Bang, bang. God versus Allah. Chess, not checkers. Bang, bang. This is just the beginning, though. The end is what you're gonna need. Bang bang. A circle never finishes. Bang bang. Infinite loops, baby. Lego. So basically, let me reiterate what I was saying earlier. So we have Bebe, who's MIA still, according to Iran, still to this day, are saying that, okay, he's making these speeches and whatnot and showing personal appearance, but we don't believe that's him. We don't believe that he's been ground zero anywhere. So right now, Iran is still not believing that Bebe has yet to be seen. So it's 10 days into this WWE match. We're definitely talking my creator versus your creator type of battle that they're in. Who's gonna prevail in this overall ultimate creator battle? That's really ultimately what this is all about. My creator says do it thou with. Mine does too. Well, shit. Look, my creator can fucking dunk. Well, you know what? Well, well, my creator owns the fucking team you dunking with, nigga. So it's about who got the greater God right now. They want you to choose sides. It's one or the other. Not another. So right now it's really one or the other. They're gonna make you choose. Me, I'm not a part of it. Not a part of it. If you're saying that your creator is greater than their creator, well, let the creators have at it then. Let's see which creator wins. Like, let your little human hands stay out of it. What are your hands doing controlling the button that your creator should be controlling himself or herself or whatever y'all got going on? Like, behind closed doors. Ain't you guys cousins anyway? God and Allah? I thought y'all was like first cousins or some shit. This is bad blood? Well, y'all need to get over that shit. Huh? Huh? You done made up this motherfucking stage play. And yeah, and you're out here doing this shit for real. The shit ain't funny. Some people don't think this shit is funny. You do what thou wilt, face fuckers. I'm just saying the shit ain't funny. Yeah. So again, in their theater, they have this story going now that your boy Baby ain't really showed his face. These are holograms. These CGI. That really him? So they're saying that hey, in this theater, if you take out mine, I'll take out yours. So they're saying an eye for an eye right now. They're also trying to say that they took out Baby's brother also. So it's just a few things taking place right now. Now, mind you, don't forget that Baby and your boy Trumpster, they're all also in the Baby Yakubian face as boy. They're also in the Yakubian drops. Yeah. So their name is all up in the Yakubian drop. Not that, and again, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna have to say that this guy was a free willer. I'm gonna say that he was not. I'm talking about Yakub Epstein. He was not working for uh, Israel or the United States. These guys are lone rebels, and they work for themselves. And it's about controlling the money. They're into controlling money. They have their own mobilicious boxcar board game that's running shit. They run governments. This is what they do. They do it with banking. That's the only way you can run a government. You have to have control of the banking, which in turns controls the actual people that work in the government, because those government workers are working for the money that this said company would be printing for the entire United States, and who's ever else using this money they've created. So again, it's chess, not checkers right now. They're playing a religious role in this theater right now, and this religious role that they're playing is the backdrop to what's going on now. Because if you're even in a WWE match protecting Israel, which is biblically tied, that name is biblically tied to religion. So that means that you're involved because of a religion, because of what that religion said do, said who to protect. So is this religion also backed by the dollar bill as well? You have to think about certain things, like, is the religion also backed by the dollar bill? And shouldn't the dollar bill be backed by religion? But in this case, I'm pretty sure I'm starting to see that the uh, religion is actually backed. Well, I would say, let me just think about that for a second, because that's it's pretty crazy. I think money is the foundation of everything right now. The religion has no validity without the money. I mean, on the money is saying in God we trust. So I would have to say the money is the foundation. Religion could go away, but the money will still be there if you take religion away. That's what's going on now in the United States. A lot of people are not worried about religion in the United States. They've totally forgotten about a religion, whether it be Muslim, whether it be Islam. I mean, whether it be Christianity, Catholicism. A lot of the people in the United States have totally forgotten about religion. They're- That's why you see a lot of things being normalized. In order for a lot of things to be normalized, clubs to pump and all of these things, that means that you can have people that go to church and still have that worldly life, but then they're always going to be on the borderline, like, damn, I'm a sinner, I can't be doing both. So you're going to have those people in the middle, but then you're going to have the people all the way outside. And most of the people that are in the middle usually go to the outside. They don't go back in the building, they go all the way outside. So with that being said, is that is this a push to get religion back at the centerfold, so people can start back being more religious, because the church has lost a lot of money. A lot. If you stop going to church, that means less tithing in the church, right? I mean, that's for any church that's out there as well too, because a lot of the church's money come from tithing offerings, and you need people there to keep that going. Now you can have your main members, but you still need more people coming in. So it is a hard drive right out there right now to keep people in the church life. So this is just a segue to where this is actually going within this show tonight. So just keeping the whole title going of God versus Allah, chess, not checkers. This situation is the ultimate situation that we have to be ready for. What is going on with this religion setup as the backdrop for this WWE match? And we're saying that because we have the main nation involved that has everything to do with biblical narratives, including the foundation of how it got started in the 1940s. So, what's happening right now is major, because it is a pre-written story that they have to make happen. It is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Now there's some players out here playing on team, and And just because you're a part of that religion don't mean you know the overall plan. Bang bang.
is drawing near. We do not seek to divide Iran. We are seeking to liberate Iran, to free her from the yoke of tyranny and to live with her in peace. But
I, I see like 3, 4 niggas running through the crib, all black, mask on, running through the crib and shit. One nigga run to the front door. I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Shot the nigga. Bow, shot his ass. Bow, 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 bow. All the niggas run out the door, they run out the door.
I would totally respect a dishonorable discharge at this moment because you shouldn't die for Bibi Netanyahu's messianic vision.
Candace Owens really upset a lot of people.
Oh,
It
yeah.
seems like it's like her job, kind of like JD Vance, just to say stuff that drives people crazy. Here, she did it again. She says, do not join or remain in the United States military.
I say that. Don't do that.
Trump has betrayed America and expects you to die for Israel. There is no honor in being led by dishonorable men to your death.
You got to be a dumbass Okie from Skokie if you're joining up to fight Iran.
To fight, for fight.
I know you're not Jewish because they don't want to fight it. They want somebody else to.
So now you're a bad American if you don't want to get recruited to fight in Israel's war, apparently. But here here she is. Let's listen.
War in Iran is on the agenda, and that appears so. Get dishonorably discharged. Who cares? Who cares? Why should you go die in a foreign land? You now have the benefits of 2020. You can see, think about those men and those women who died because they were pitched that they were serving their country because there were weapons of mass destruction, right? They were serving their country because the Taliban, they were serving their country, whatever, and these people gave up their lives. And ask yourselves for what? And the answer to that question is for the elites. They're like toy soldiers. And I would have said that Trump would never do that to you. He would never just throw you into an Israeli war. But right now, our planes are flying in the sky. So I don't have that confidence anymore. And I'm comfortable with people being dishonorably discharged because the dishonor has come from our politicians. The dishonor has come from our politicians who routinely lie in our faces and are willing to let us die to serve their financial interests. So why don't they dishonorably discharge themselves from public office? That works for me. And I think a great place for you guys to go into would be into security. There are a lot of security firms that are popping up all over. I'm certainly a person that needs security all the time. And I think that's the way. Start establishing your own security companies and all other jobs. I mean, you guys are the brawn, you know what I mean? And there's no question that America is never out of jobs for people who are willing to actually use their bodies. We need you guys. And I would totally respect a dishonorable discharge at this moment because you shouldn't die for Bibi Netanyahu's messianic vision.
You know, they tell us that soldiers have the right to disobey illegal.
God versus Allah. Chestnut checkers. Bang bang. Now, there was a time, that was once upon a time when Miss Owens here actually supported trumpets, got him the most votes in the history of votes through TP USA. She was also, her and her husband was also part of the creators of TP USA UK through her husband's ties. Now she's totally, now this is her with Mr. Kirk himself. That was her beginning with Kanye and Mr. Kirkster himself, who may very well be still breathing the same air we are right now as well, just like your boy Yakubi in the forehead. These guys are still breathing the same air we are. These guys are top ranking officials of disguise masters. Everything ain't a conspiracy. And what we thought were conspiracies are turning out to be true, truth, truthful, no lie, no cap, real shit. So we got Miss Owens here, now totally in destruction mode of the Republican campaign of re-electing trumpets. I wonder what her mate is saying about all of this. So, did her mate denounce being part of the Israel Foundation through family ties or something? Like, don't you sleep with this man? Tell me you're not. Tell me you're not also part of what we would call right now propaganda. You're not part of this theater, are you as well? These are these are questions we have to ask. Again, through TPUSA, and she was a part of the foundation of it. You got all the young people to start voting. You wanted to get the dark skinned American, the so called black American for sure. You wanted those guys to become more political and start voting. And if they started voting, you wanted them to start voting for the Republican Party. That was your whole get up with the Yeezy, ironically, the Yeezy collaboration. Now, nobody is free from what we can see right now. These are things that we've seen. You guys advertise your own pictures together. Kirkster, Yeezy, and you, Miss Owens. You guys made the red Trump hat popular. We got to keep this in perspective. Then you had Mr. Yeezy jumping off the goddamn bridge. We all fucking crazy in this circle. So maybe he bit the wrong side of the apple, or maybe he's part of the propaganda to say, hey, all right, we got to have a few people on this side. We got to have a few people on this side. We're going to divide. I'm going to throw some blows. But whoever, I mean, who knows what's really going on? Again, they're playing chess, not checkers. There could be two different sides actually going against each other here. But I can tell you what, the overall goal list bankers are the ones who's throwing the play cards out. They're the dealers, they're the owners of the casinos. We're talking about the bankers. I don't care who or what gang you think is ruling some shit, they not. If you ain't putting a little banker in it, I need you to think a minute. This God versus Allah, Chestnut Checkers, WWE match, it's all about the paper. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's all about the paper. And whoever has power of the paper controls the people. Tells you what religion, can split up the religious views, make multiple different religions out of one. Make your creator, they can make your creator up for the love of money, out of the love of money. Hmm? Yeah. Yeah. Bang, bang. Well, let's keep diving deep on here. This is just the beginning. I'm going somewhere with it. Check it.
orders. But and
No, stop that. I'm not blaming anybody other than you. You're not keeping your word. You said that you would release all of the materials
Has
under your
anyone
direct
released
control.
more information on Epstein than I have? Has
Well,
anyone?
much
did
more-
Comey, did Ray?
Much
Did
more.
they?
Excuse me. Much more has come out in the days since the American people and Congress have been demanding it, but it's coming out in dribs and drabs. Why don't you just release the entire file as you promised to do? Well, most other new FBI directors drew on their experience as FBI agents. You didn't have that. For children, based on your experience clashing with President Trump's political enemies. In your book, you describe your literary alter ego, Cash the Knight, as a wacky, easily bored wizard carrying out King Donald's vengeance by driving his enemies out of the kingdom. In the books, King Donald is besieged by the evil Hillary Queentown, but saved in the end by Cash. Then Cash goes on to catch mules who are stealing the 2020 election for the great King Donald from Sleepy Joe. And then in the third book, Cash takes down the dragon of the jalapenos, nicknamed the DOJ.
This man, the director of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, sat down and wrote a fantasy trilogy for 5-year-olds where he imagines himself as Cash the Knight carrying out King Donald's vengeance against his enemies. That is a real thing that actually happened. And Jamie Raskin walked into that hearing room, looked this man in the face, and read every single word of it back to him on live television in front of the whole country, while over 1,000 Epstein victims are still waiting for a single name. Let's watch this clip, and I will give you my take later.
Dr. Patel, before you joined the FBI, you railed against it for covering up Jeffrey Epstein's human trafficking ring. Let me refresh your memory with this clip.
Has Epstein's list, they're sitting on it. That doesn't seem like something you should do. You're that list. Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
So you finished that December 2023 interview with a challenge to the FBI and harsh words for Republicans in Congress for not getting the Epstein files out to the public. You can see this clip.
Boy pants, and let us know who the pedophiles are.
Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are, you said. You emphasized that the president and FBI director each had complete authority to release Epstein's client list. You said Epstein's black book is under the, quote, direct control of the director of the FBI. Look at this clip.
This is way off the topic, but who has Jeffrey Epstein's
Black book?
what is that I mean, there's
that's under direct control of the director of the FBI.
All right. So you were sworn in as director more than 200 days ago. Now, the black book, you're so why release the conspiracy?
The Rolodex, which is what everybody colloquially refers to as the Black Book, has been released.
Oh, no, you're talking about what the journalist got 5 years ago? No, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what you were talking about there,
That's
the black
exactly
book
what I
under
was
the direct
talking-
control of the FBI director.
We have released more material than anyone else before. The Biden administration, Obama administration had the exact opportunities to release this material, and they never did. And if you are selling the men and women of the FBI,
Why
we're not
have you
going after
changed your
child credit.
position?
Hang on, you said
Tell me, guys, ladies, have you ever in your ever living life seen the FBI director get put on the stand for withholding whatever the evidence is? In any case, any case, are you listening to these grown ass men right now? Yo, they're arguing about releasing documents on a bike pedaling case. Why are you withholding the documents or whatever is in it anyway? And you say the stupidest answer we don't need to hear. Oh, because there's some bike peddling shit in these files. You don't need to see that, sir. Boy, did you just? You know, I can see. Boy, did you just? Boy, the desk ain't even clean. Did you just do? I'm calling Dwight Howard on his ass. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That might have been his shit. I'm just saying. Listen to these grown ass men actually fight it out with other grown ass people in here fighting about how this guy has ties to every and these some of these people names this nigga wrote a book for 5-year olders. I'm talking about Can't Blink. Can't fucking Blink wrote a book for 5-year olders. What? What? About saving the motherfucking world. What? Boy, boy, that is not sugar. What? And you don't put it there. What? What? Oh boy, boy. This is why none of they creators can be my creator. Oh hell no. No. Check it. Why are they doing this? Why are they debating? And why are they arguing about it with the FBI director? Why is his ass in the hot seat over a bike peddling case? What? Why are you writing 5-year older books? What? About you and Trumpster saving the motherfucking world. You guilty, bruh. Whatever. Why? And look, I'm just saying. I don't even know what you ain't did. I don't know what you gonna do. All I know is can't blink, bruh. That boy said, turkey sandwich. What's sir, we're not even talking about that. We're talking about these files. Baloney, that thick baloney that gets stuck to your roof of your mouth. Um that boy they got that Dwight Howard bag. He tripping. He definitely on vacation tripping.
We're not going after child predators. 1,500 child predators arrested this year. 35%
Okay,
increase.
I'll reclaim my time.
4,700 child
Mr.
victims.
Chairman, I'm going to
now.
reclaim my time if you could instruct the witness. But why have you changed your position? There you were saying it's under the direct control of the FBI director and all of it should be released. Why have you changed your
Everything
position?
that has been lawfully permitted to be released has been released. And as I told you,
Really?
the investigation was limited. And let me make something crystal clear. I never said Jeffrey Epstein didn't traffic other people, other women, and they're not other victims. This is the investigation we were given from 2006, 7, and 8, and the search warrants from 2006, 7, and 8. That's what we're working with.
Wait, have you released all of the stuff that the FBI has seized from Epstein's house?
Right now what's going on is self snitching. So Can't Blink then told the guy now, what sir, why y'all ass mad at me? I just got the job. Didn't you just say I just got here 2 months ago? Sir. So how am I the problem? Yeah, I said what I said before I got in this motherfucking seat, but look, I'm gonna tell you like this. You ain't say nothing to them niggas in 2006 and 7, 8, 9, 10? Huh? It's been a lot of presidents and shit going on before this one right now, bitch. Don't put that shit on my shoulder. What happened to the ones in 2006, huh? What? They had the same file we got right now, bitch. So what this is that look, the Democrats didn't want to put this file out while they had it, and damn sure didn't want to have the Republicans put it. And then when the Republicans got in office, they didn't want to put it out when they had it. They tossed it back over. So now that your boy Trump is back in office, the perfect time is to make sure that it gets out now. So that's where this whole Yakub thing came from, is to make it the world renowned thing that's going on. Yakub wanted to be great. This is his way of going out great, but still being in that double jeopardy moment. The guy's definitely still here. He's still calling shots. He's behind this whole God versus Allah chestnut checkers WWE match. This is definitely a guarantee. So you got Can't Blink up here, writing 5-year-old books about saving the motherfucking planet from these weirdos that want to take down the Trumpster. So, I mean, you can't make this shit up. So, I mean, it's all theater, so you ain't making it up. Let's find out how their story just keeps taking these weird ass turns. Mind you, we still have the director of the FBI being put on the stand for not releasing fucking documents that could save lives. So, again, never have I ever seen the FBI director just taking the stand like this, like on some, hey, I could get in trouble if I lie under oath type shit. What is going on here? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's a lot of things going on. This guy is definitely a fall guy, though. Definitely a fall guy. He ain't got that power, but he has enough power to be the dummy in the dummy seat. And when they hit eject, his ass gonna be the first to get ejected. Yeah, because ain't no way Can't Blink has made it to the top to become a director of any fucking thing. You cannot make this shit up, but they did. They actually did. You're watching in real time. I ain't making that shit up because we're gonna talk about the Shiites in a minute, and I ain't making that shit I ate up.
Computers, the emails, the file cabinets, the documents. What about the financial records? Have you released all of that?
Everything the court has allowed us to
Which
release.
court are you talking about?
3 separate federal courts have come in and said.
We're talking about the evidence you've got. It's got nothing to do with what those courts have.
Do you have any idea how the law works?
Wait.
Do you want me to break the law and a federal judge's order?
No, I want you to follow your own word, Director Patel. You said up there it was under the direct control of the FBI director. He had the black book.
Everything I have control. God, you complete that release. We're releasing.
He'd like to complete his answer.
You began the sentence, everything you have direct control over, and then you stopped that sentence. You've released everything that you have direct control over?
I have direct control over and can lawfully release. If you're not familiar with the court orders, that's not my fault.
Oh, I'm perfectly,
look at them.
I'm perfectly familiar with them. But how did we prosecute Ghislaine Maxwell?
She was prosecuted with the investigatory material that was collected from 2001 and 2005 because of the non-prosecution agreements and the court orders on the investigations and search warrants. We were not able to develop new information. And oh, by the way, Jeffrey Epstein was out for 12 years and the Obama and Biden administration did nothing to look at his work, his pedophile network. If you want to blame me, that's fine. But now you're blaming the men and women who conducted this
stop
great
that.
search.
I'm not blaming anybody other than you. You're not keeping your word. You said that you would release all of the materials
Has
under your
anyone
direct
released
control.
more information on Epstein than I have? Has
Well,
anyone?
Much
Did
more.
Comey, did Ray?
Much
Did
more.
they?
Excuse me. Much more is.
Can't Blink said, I done told you, motherfucker, if you ask me that question one more time, I'll rat on everybody in this motherfucking room. Bitch, your name in there too, bitch. Hey, don't make me, motherfucker. You're pushing the motherfucking line with these questions. We talk about this in the back. Don't ask me these stupid ass questions. This ain't no game today, player. I done told you. When I say one more motherfucking word, I redact just your name in that bitch. Your boy said, "Why ain't Obama drop him, huh?" What? I done told you, you put this motherfucking shit on my shoulder. So yeah. Again, look who's in control of us. Why are they in there arguing with the FBI director about some files? If this shit ain't important, why does he have? They've been arguing about this shit since 2019. I gotta say the Yakub drop has been dropping since he got dropped the first time in a cell. So damn, this nigga got the longest drop in history. Fuck, he's right behind Pop. You know what? Pop probably got him. Right now the Yakub drop has been going down since that big head fucker brought that island. When he bought that island, he's been shooting up from there. Even though he was already up top. That nigga was in the billions, and he was definitely in the billies, like early '90s. So they even got him scratching the top of the hip hop game, throwing down dollars, making sure this record label gets created. This record label gets created, including Sugar Hill Gang record label, which is said to be the first record label for hip hop. Sugar Hill Gang was also funded by that motherfucker down the line. So you can't even run from a lot of things, man. This is chess, not checkers. With the right extremities, you can reach anybody. The ultimate liaison is the most profitable liaison. Yeah. Know how to talk to anybody, anyhow, with any type of backup game to it. Yeah. I never say what I can't do. I'm the ultimate liaison because what you don't know is I got somebody that can do it and get it back to me and I can have it to you for any price. Set it. So that's what this game is about. It's about chess, not checkers. Move the right piece, you can take over the whole board. And right now, the chess, not checkers pieces are God versus Allah. It's the same as chess, not checkers right now. The ultimate thing that's about to happen, the biblical narrative is about to start being talked about more during the summer. And the Quran, that narrative is about to be talked about. They're supposed to be clashing. There's not even supposed to be a Christmas on the map right now. They're saying there ain't gonna be no Christmas because of these two different narratives supposed to have their ultimate being come back this year, ironically this year. So there's a lot of nonsense being thrown around out there. Shit, just make sure you ain't got no gasoline pre-poured on you and it been announced to you, and they light that flicker and it burn your ass too. All I'm saying is stay far back enough away where you can still see where what the fuck is going down and where they throwing the flames at, because they gonna be throwing some flames. Yeah. This ain't little bit. This ain't little bitty shit right now going on. They're gonna make this major because they gotta make a point. Mind you, your ass is still part of the Hunger Games. You just don't know which district your ass in.
Has come out in the days since the American people in Congress have been demanding it, but it's coming out in dribs and drabs. Why don't you just release the entire file as you promised to do?
I literally just told you there are multiple federal court orders. I'm not going to break the law to satisfy your curiosity. You didn't join us when we filed court to release the court orders. You could have. You have lawyers. You could have shown up. You didn't do that.
That's a tiny fraction of the material we're
That
talking
is
about.
not.
It is
How
a
do you-
tiny fraction.
How do you know that? Have you seen
No.
everything?
It's all misdirected.
How do you know
Time
that?
of the gentleman has expired. The gentleman from California is recognized.
Well, most other new FBI directors drew on their experience as FBI agents. You didn't have that. But you did write a picture book trilogy for children ages 5 and up based on your experience clashing with President Trump's political enemies. In your book, you describe your literary alter ego, Cash the Knight, as a wacky, easily bored wizard carrying out King Donald's vengeance by driving his enemies out of the kingdom. In the books, King Donald is besieged by the evil Hillary Queentown, but saved in the end by Cash. Then Cash goes on to catch mules who are stealing
Really? Can't blink. Now you're a goddamn superhero. Huh? 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 You already knew you was gonna be a character in the FBI director seat or something? What the? So you wrote a book for 5-year-olds. I don't even know why. And they ain't even talking about nothing a 5-year older needs to know about. You're talking about a political regime takeover, sir, in your book, calling the Trumpster king. It's boy, you let me find out. Yo, can't blink ass got some goddamn sticky socks all up in your motherfucking room talking about I'm about to write this book. It's about me and the Trumpster at like 1 in the morning. Let me find out, sir. you, you got sugar bags next to your stand where you sleep, sir. Let me just find out you don't sleep. Let me just find out your ass is pumped up on nothing but Miller, Yellow, and Mountain Dew. Face ass. What is not going down here? He's clearly Team Trumpster. He's not ratting his boy out. Why? What is going on here? We have a director of a pretty big organization within the United States government taking the stand here and clearly filibustering like nonstop. Yeah, it says you ain't innocent. I ain't saying guilty type things because all this shit is allegedly because it's part of a script. But the shit is funny as fuck right now. What is not going down here is the truth. I'll tell you that on a goddamn random ass Tuesday night. What is not going down is the truth. Nigga said, "Yeah, I had time to write a book. Yeah. I already knew what was gonna happen. As you can tell on page 7, keep going, keep going. Go to page 7. Boy, if you don't quit your goddamn Krispy Kreme donut, I like the way you say that. Say it again, face ass boy. Holy moly donut shop. Oh, that's what I'm talking about. See, I knew that was you.
The 2020 election for the great King Donald from Sleepy Joe. And then in the third book, Cash takes down the dragon of the jalapenos, nicknamed the DOJ. Your supporters had hoped that you would graduate from imagining yourself a romantic fairy tale knight to actually running America's premier federal law enforcement agency. Alas, just as we've learned how dangerous it is to put a science-denying anti-vaxxer in charge of our public health, we've learned how dangerous it is to name as director of the FBI a man who thinks of himself as a fairy tale knight who keeps a fire-breathing dragon named DOJ at home to forcibly drive villains out of the kingdom.
Cash the Knight. This is the man running the FBI, a man who wrote himself into a children's book as a wizard knight serving King Donald and driving his enemies out of the kingdom. And you wonder why the Epstein files are buried. But let us go back to 2023 for 1 second, because this is where it gets genuinely beautiful. Kash Patel sat on a podcast and screamed at the FBI. He said, "Put on your big boy pants and tell us who the pedophiles are." He said the black book is under the direct control of the FBI director. He said the only reason the list was not released was because of who is on it. That was him. Those were his words, his mouth, his voice. Fast forward to today, he is the FBI director. The black book is under his direct control. And you know what he did the moment he got those files? He pulled hundreds of agents off counterterrorism duty, off drug trafficking, off child predator cases, agents sleeping at their desks, working around the clock. Not to find justice for 1,000 victims, not to name the monsters who paid Epstein for access to children. No, he pulled all those agents to do one thing: find Donald Trump's name and make sure nobody ever sees it. And then in May, Pam Bondi walked into the White House and told Trump his name appeared in the Epstein files multiple times. And 2 months later, Kash Patel released a memo saying no further disclosure is appropriate. Case closed. files buried, 1,000 victims sitting at home watching this man hold up binders for MAGA influencers at a White House photo opportunity while their stories rot in a file.
This individual showed up to impede a law enforcement operation and assaulted our officers. They responded according to their training and took action to defend the officer's life and those of the public around him. And I don't know of any peaceful protester that shows up with a gun and ammunition rather than a sign. This is a violent riot when you have someone showing up with weapons and are using them to assault law enforcement officers.
DHS Secretary Kristi Noem is lying again, and thus...
You can't just walk around with a gun unless you're going to a school. Everybody knows that. It's the law in the Bible. Okay, if you have a weapon, like a phone or a potato or a pool noodle, you know, that's a violent riot. Okay, the Second Amendment says we can have guns, right? But you don't have guns rights, right? Look, this is just like when I did my very successful meth campaign. I said, meth, we're on it, okay? We're committed to this too. We say murder, we commit, okay? We're out there executing our mission. If you have a gun out or concealed, or you saw it in a movie once, you know, we will run at you the fastest we can. Okay, our officers will respond according to their training, which is 6 to 8 minutes of writing down their name and favorite color. Look, the bottom line is we make the rules as we go, and you have to guess what they are, okay? And if you're wrong, you know, it will end badly for you.
TikTokers like Julie Burke are seeing it for what it is.
First, you showed it. I find it.
How many have you indicted?
Excuse me. I'm going to answer the question.
Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the question the way I want to answer the question.
No,
Your
you're going to answer the
theatrics are
question the way I
ridiculous.
asked it.
Chairman Jordan, I'm not going to get in the gutter with these people, but I'm going to answer the question.
How many have you indicted?
Again, the time belongs to
Reclaiming my time.
The time belongs.
I think it's very interesting.
Reclaiming my time.
I think it's very interesting
You can
that
reclaim
he
your
talks
time.
about they
Reclaiming my
indicted,
time, Mr.
the
Chairman.
president said they indicted him twice.
Mr. Chairman, please
They
stop the
sure
clock.
did.
Stop the clock and restore his time.
Okay, here we go with these theatrics.
45 seconds,
I am
Mr. Nadler,
going
please,
to
Mr. Chairman.
answer.
You can let her filibuster all day long, but not on our watch. Not on our time. No way. And I told you about that, Attorney General, before you started.
You don't tell me.
Yeah, I did tell you because we saw what you did in the Senate.
You're a lawyer, not even a lawyer.
Committee will be in order.
There's no doubt about it. Pam Bondi embarrassed herself.
This is my impression of Pam Bondi testifying in front of the House. Absolutely not. There is no evidence of that. The president has been so transparent.
And thus, she was mocked by many.
This is not a game, Secretary.
I'm Attorney General.
My apologies, I couldn't tell.
Didn't see one tweet, not one. I didn't see one tweet when Joe Biden was in office about Bill Clinton. Didn't ask Merrick Garland anything about Epstein, not once. When he was
weak sauce.
And also, I want the record to reflect that, you know, with this anti-Semitic culture right now, she voted against a resolution condemning.
Oh,
is
Jewish. I just want to be clear. Do you want to go there, Attorney General? Or do you want to go there? Are you serious? Talking about anti-Semitism to a woman who lost her grandfather in the Holocaust? Really? Really?
The committee will be in order.
Talk to Jared Wise about anti-Semitism.
The AG simply could not help herself in the Jeffrey Epstein hearings.
I see like 3, 4 niggas running through the crib, all black, mask on, running through the crib and shit. One nigga run to the front door. I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Shot the nigga. Bow, shot his ass. Bow, 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 bow. All the niggas run out the door, they run out the door. This nigga on the floor.
Greetings.
Hi, what are your specials?
Well, you know, it's funny. Since my time as waitress, I have completed more orders than.
Sorry, what are the specials of
Excuse
this day?
me. I'm going to answer the question when I'm good and ready. Your theatrics are ridiculous. Okay, the market price fish might be up, but the Dow is down. Oh, you can't read the menu because of redactions? How about you apologize for coming in here with a party of 11?
Ma'am, could I get a refill on water?
Did you drink the water I already gave you?
Yeah, but I want.
So you admit that I already gave you water?
Yeah, but I
yield my
want.
time.
Ma'am.
Oh, so you want to complain that I gave you pickles when you said you didn't want pickles, but how about you apologize for a complicated order? I have yet to hear an apology from you, or you for that matter. What are the gluten-free options? How about you grow a pair? A turkey burger? This guy's got beef derangement syndrome over here. Give me.
You won't believe how many countries were bombed by the nukes were reported in Iran, Yemen, Syria, and Iraq. Over in Africa, American strikes hit Somalia, and more recently, Nigeria. And in South America, the newest bombing, Venezuela. Which countries do you think could join the list in 2026?
Mr. President.
Do you have to take him out? Does he have a target on his back?
You mean the new supreme leader? You mean the son?
How can there be in Iran?
Well, I
another
don't want to say that, but you know, I was disappointed because we think it's going to lead to just more of the same problem for the country. So I was disappointed to see their choice.
Mr. President.
You said earlier that we've already won in many ways, but we haven't won enough. What do you consider enough? What's your baseline?
Where they're not going to be starting the following day to develop a nuclear weapon. Where they'll look at that man and some other people from the administration and say, all right, we're not going to do it. They were not willing to say that. And when Steve called up and he said that to me, I said, well, here we go. Let's do it the hard way. But the hard way, I think, is probably the easy way. When basically I can see that they will no longer have any capacity whatsoever for a very long period of time of developing weaponry that can be used against the United States, Israel, or any of our allies. We have great allies in the Middle East, great countries that are allies.
Sir, you said you're considering seizing the Strait of Hormuz. Is there a timeline for that?
About the strait, you mean?
Yeah, Strait.
Yeah, well, I want to keep it open. I want to keep it good. You know, it doesn't pertain to us so much as it does to China. We're really helping China here and other countries because they get a lot of their energy from the straits.
What? What? Trumpets? Man, what you talking about, bruh? What? See, this is why this is chess, not checkers. Did this guy say, man, the shit don't even really matter to us, but you know what? We'll go over there and help you motherfuckers out since y'all can't do it yourself. Y'all can't shut Iran up. I mean, what is going on here? There's like 92 different stories to the backstory. To the backstory. You know these some backdoor ass motherfuckers, right? You know these marvelicious boxcar boy gang. These some backdoor boys. What? Front door, nigga. Them niggas don't even invent a front door on their house. That's who we dealing with. Backdoor niggas. So what's going on is your boy said, look, nah. He never said he ain't gonna do nothing I told him not to do. So what I'm gonna do is what I wanna do. And that's gonna be easier. Even though I'm doing this not for the United States people. That's even crazier. He didn't even say he doing it for the United States people. He didn't even say, he better not say he doing it for the Americans anyway. We already know. You ain't, what is this gonna do for the Aboriginal, huh? What is this doing for the Aboriginal? Like I said, I still think y'all motherfuckers slapping five in the back room. Fuck it. I mean, who's to say that you're not? We don't know what the fuck y'all be doing. Yeah. And now that we finding out, we been knew then. We been knew that you motherfuckers was some pneumonia sick bitches. You stay ill, crazy, loco. So out of his own mouth, he helping out the other folk, huh? What is going? What now? Why are you helping them out? Is the question, baby Jesus? You want to say the will, huh? You trying to make yourself look good for everybody else, huh? You trying to blow you the trumpet, the last trumpet will be blown by you, huh? So you, Jesus, not Yakub. Yakub like your brother or something? Could y'all be Yakub and Esau? Could this be the Yakub and Esau story? Could this nigga be playing Esau in this theater? And could your boy Epi Up be playing Yakub for real with that motherfucking jug head? Because mind you, when Pence ran with Trump, their name together was Trumpets, as in trumpet. Like the color of his skin is supposed to be like the color of a trumpet. Brass. Bra- brass. Boy, you ain't brass. That's what's going on here. They're being the creators. And mind you, uh your boy your boys in the theater game said they said Iran looking for baby because they still ain't seen his ass. So let's keep going here. Let's keep this truck driving down the country air road.
But hey, look, we have a good relationship with China. It's my honor to do it. Yeah. And
Won't believe how many countries were bombed by the United States under Donald Trump's second administration. Let's start in the Middle East, where strikes were reported in Iran, Yemen, Syria, and Iraq. Over in Africa, American strikes hit Somalia, and more recently, Nigeria. And in South America, the newest bombing, Venezuela. Which countries do you think could join the list in 2026?
These are all countries that were bombed by the second administration of Donald Trump. The US is still active in the Middle East. That's why we include Iran, Iraq, Syria, and Yemen. Furthermore, we also add Somalia, Nigeria, and the newest bombing in Venezuela. Which countries
to vote in American elections.
It's been 10 days already.
Thus far, and America's warriors are winning this important fight at an even faster pace than we anticipated.
Great.
More than 5,000 enemy targets have been struck so far.
That's a lot of targets.
Iran's ballistic missile attacks are down more than 90%, and their drone attacks are down by approximately 85% since the start of Operation Epic Fury. The United States is also annihilating the Iranian regime's navy, and we have destroyed more than 50 Iranian naval vessels,
You said 51.
including a major
I thought they were
drone
out of
carrier
ships.
ship. None of the regime's vessels are operating in major regional waterways, and the Iranian Navy has been assessed as combat ineffective.
Oh, so it's
the
deleted?
trend is clear. U.S. combat capabilities are increasing and growing more lethal and dominant by the day, while the Iranian terrorist regime's ability to respond has rapidly declined. Now, the U.S. military is moving to dismantle Iran's missile production infrastructure. Our incredible B-2 bombers recently dropped dozens of 2,000-pound penetrator bombs on deeply buried missile sites.
Wow.
Last night, President Trump reiterated his commitment toward keeping oil flowing through the Strait of Hormuz.
That's right.
So the United States and all of our allies can receive their energy needs.
Wow.
President Trump will not allow rogue Iranian terrorists to stop the freedom of navigation and the free flow of energy.
Yeah, that's a
Let
good
me be
thing.
clear. It is a good thing to wipe out terrorists who indiscriminately target civilians and attempt to hold the global economy hostage. And President Trump should be commended.
Cuba's
for doing
next.
So.
Oh, Cuba's it's already over.
Unequivocally clear to the remaining elements
point,
of this terrorist
it's already
regime
over.
in his statement yesterday. If they do anything to stop the flow of oil or goods within the Strait of Hormuz, they will be hit by the world's most powerful military 20 times harder than they have been hit thus far.
So they're just going to get deleted.
The stated objectives for Operation Epic Fury remain the same. Destroy the terrorist regime's ballistic missiles, raise their Iranian missile industry to the ground, ensure their terrorist proxies can no longer destabilize the region, and ensure that Iran never obtains a nuclear weapon. President Trump remains confident these goals will be accomplished in swift fashion.
It's like a purge.
As for the oil,
yeah, it's like a purge.
President Trump fully expected the rogue Iranian regime to try and disrupt the global markets. That's why President Trump and his energy team have been planning for this long before the strike and have moved quickly to address these temporary disruptions.
Yeah.
Thus far, the Trump administration has offered political risk insurance to tankers operating in the Gulf.
Oh, I saw that.
The Treasury temporarily waived certain oil-related sanctions, and the Commander-in-Chief has offered the U.S. Navy to escort tankers when necessary.
That's nice.
The President and his energy team are closely watching the markets, speaking with industry leaders, and the U.S. military is drawing up additional options following the President's directive to continue keeping the Strait of Hormuz open. I will not broadcast what those options look like, but just know the President is not afraid to use them. Rest assured to the American
nuclear
people,
bomb.
the recent increase in oil and gas prices is temporary, and this operation will result in lower gas
Has gas gone up for you guys?
Term. Once the national objectives of Operation Epic Fury are fully achieved, Americans will see oil and gas prices drop rapidly, potentially even lower than they were prior to the start of the operation. And we will live in a world where Iran can no longer threaten the United States or our allies with a nuclear bomb.
That'd be good.
On another
That'd
matter
be a
here
good
at
thing.
home, President Trump is urging Congress to pass the Save America Act, one of the most critical pieces of legislation in our nation's history.
Wow.
The Save America Act is overwhelmingly popular with all Americans because each provision is
Up
rooted
30
in
cents.
common
I don't
sense.
even really check for
The Save
gas a
America
lot.
Act has 5 simple requirements as requested by the President of the United States.
I don't know
Number
about gas
1,
prices. Work my
voters
ass off
have
not
to
be
show
poor.
ID to cast a ballot in an American election.
I still usually
Very
try to
simple.
pay attention.
90% of Americans, including more than 80% of Democrat voters, agree with this. Number 2, the Save America Act will require all voters to show proof of citizenship in order to register to vote.
Imagine
in
not
American
wanting people
elections.
to show citizenship.
Again, this is
like
popular and
how can
rooted
you be
in common
against that?
sense. Only American citizens
so
have the right to
retarded.
vote in American elections.
I don't
But
know
after
how you
Joe
can even
Biden
get
and
there.
the Democrats allowed tens of millions of illegal aliens into our country, it's more important than ever to ensure that only American citizens are registering to vote on our nation's voter rolls. And
You have
Congress
to be a
needs
cheater.
pass this. Number 3, the Save America Act abolishes the incredibly unsecure practice of universal mail-in ballots, which throw the door wide open for fraud. Importantly, The Save America Act maintains exceptions for Americans to use mail-in ballots like
If
for
they're
illness,
sick or something,
disability,
that's fine.
military, or travel reasons.
Yeah.
The bipartisan 2005 report of the Commission on Federal Election Reform, chaired by, of all people, former President Jimmy Carter and former Secretary of State James Baker, concluded that, quote, absentee
Why the U.S.
ballots
doesn't have
remain
free
the
and
largest
national
source
ID
of
or
potential
federal
voter
ID?
fraud,
We
and it
do.
is time for Congress
It's
to
just done by
finally
each
address
state.
this. Number four,
But they're
the Save
cross-referenced.
America Act permanently bans men from competing in women's sports. President Trump signed a landmark executive order upholding the promise of Title IX and ending this dangerous and unfair practice.
Oh
But
my
now
God,
it's
this
time
is
for
a
Congress to codify
transgenocide.
this into law.
Oh my
Number
God.
5, the Save America
No.
Act bans transgender mutilation surgery for children. Again,
Oh my
President Trump
God.
signed a common sense executive order to do this and kept his promise to the American people, but now Congress needs to do the same and
Yeah, they
codify
obviously
it.
should
It's
do
well
that.
past time for Democrats in Congress to stop perpetuating the radical and false claim that you can somehow change a child's sex. You cannot.
It's sick. It's
Passing
totally
the Save America
sick.
Act is the most important thing that Republicans
The fact that
and
people
frankly
play along with that
Democrats can
bullshit
do
is
to
so
strengthen election
it's so
integrity
dangerous.
and protect our democracy.
It's ridiculous.
It's what the American people elected Republicans to do, and they must deliver on it as soon as possible.
Yeah.
The president is calling on Congress to get the job done and send this historic piece of legislation to his desk
The pedos?
immediately.
Some
for
of them are. I
signature.
don't know about all
So
of
with
them.
that, today I will take your questions. Benny, thank
Okay.
you for being here, and why don't you start us off?
Thank you, Caroline. So my first question is actually about the Save America Act. So one of the biggest things that the Democrats are saying, the claims that they're making, is that the Save America Act, it would prevent married women from voting in elections or make it harder for them. What do you have to say to those claims?
Oh my
Is there
God.
any validity to them, and where do you think they're getting this from?
That's what you wanted to ask? This is who we have running our country. That's what you wanted to ask. You had nothing else to ask. You wanted to know about the Save America Act. Why? And why that stupid ass question? Now, what's going on here is filibustering. So you're passing act as you're in a full blown firecracker battle. Like right now, you want to pass a Save America Act about voting. Now, what's going on is that they're creating all these different things like voter ID and all this other stuff. It's not just going to be for a vote. They're trying to do these IDs all around the board, even if you ain't a voter. So this goes into that spectrum. So, but they're using this casting a vote and stealing votes and cheating the election and shit, which we know. Who cares if you cheat in the election? The electoral vote is the one that counts. So who gives? So what? You rigged the machine. We still picking the guy we gonna pick. So you're making a bunch of fuss about chestnut checkers, basically. It's peep the game. So she put a lot of spill out there in that startup to finish with, oh, and we also passing the act. And we got one reporter who you made sure to pick on to ask just about the act. It's all act. Yeah. So ask about the act. And I'll tell you about the theater later. So it's all one big funnel cake at a fair. You eat the shit, the stomach gonna hurt, but you're gonna eat the shit because you're already there. You like the way it tastes when you're there. But you eat that shit and get on that goddamn roller coaster. That ain't really a roller coaster, it's just a coaster. Go on, get your ass on that motherfucker. Stomach and you're gonna be hurt.
Is zero validity to these claims, and I'm glad that you brought them up because you have the Democrats who have created this myth
I mean,
that has been perpetuated.
wait, it's not disenfranchising women? Oh,
the Save America Act does not prohibit anyone from
shit.
voting, with the exception of illegal aliens. And the greatest way to disenfranchise American citizens from voting in American elections is to allow illegal
The Mahdi is near. Is Trump the Shiite Antichrist? So if you don't know, Shiites, they are the
Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. Hey, yeah, boy Trumpster's at it again. Now this nigga's the Shiite. Now this nigga's the Shiite. God versus Allah. Chestnut checkers. Bang bang. Lego.
a sect of Muslims. So I don't know if it's all Muslims, but I have been seeing this. I even mentioned this in another article I did yesterday from Israel 365 News. This is from Israel 365 News. And I thought it is important for us to understand really kind of the the spiritual element of this war that's going on. What is really at stake here? And like I told you in yesterday's video, that there is a lot of Jews who believe that Trump is a messianic type of figure. Either he is Mashiach, which is their Messiah, or he is like Cyrus, who is helping to usher in their Messiah, and that they see that their Messiah will arrive this year. Well, Muslims believe that as well, that their Messiah will be arriving this year. And as you know, a lot of Christians, such as myself, believe that Jesus Christ's return is imminent. I don't put a date on it. No man knows the day or hour, but guys, we are commanded to know the season. There's a reason why Jesus says, list all these things that will be happening. And when you begin to see it,
God versus Allah. Chestnut checkers. Huh? So both of these mofos creators supposed to be coming back this year. Oh, really? Are they gonna meet at Roof Chris? Fuck they meeting at? Red Lobster? What the fuck is this meeting at? Mm? Yeah. Are they meeting out there in the sands and shit, huh? You coming back wearing sandals? Maybe I'll believe it if you tell me he wearing sandals when you see it. When you see that motherfucker, Bobby. Is he wearing sandals? Huh? So both of y'all homeboys coming back. This marvelous boxcar boy gang is out of control. Out of control. Out of their mind. Why? Why both of y'all homeboys coming back? Both of them getting out of jail this year at the same time? What is not going on here is the truth in plain sight. God versus Allah. Chestnut checkers. Bang, bang.
happening, understand that you are going to see him returning on the clouds. And we are seeing those things begin. And there's a whole lot that goes into that with biblical prophecy. I brought you so much of it. But I thought this was interesting because when it comes to this war, you have to understand this is a holy war that is being waged right now. This is what the Muslims believe. This is what a lot of Jews believe. And they see really Trump as the great Satan. All right. But this is going to help peel back these layers and understand this is not going to be an easy war to just, a couple people dead, taking out all of their navy, doing all of that. They are fighting this to the death, and they have made this very clear that will no longer tolerate anything from the U.S. They don't want. And in fact, I reported yesterday how one of the things that they have a list of demands. And in fact, let me pull up the list of demands, and then we'll get into the article because it is crucial for you to see what this list of demands are for the war to stop and how it's pretty much impossible. And I think they've made it that way because they don't want it to end until they see the destruction of the West, which they see as America. Okay. So here are the list of demands. hand Netanyahu over to the ICC for trial, withdraw Israeli forces to October 7th borders or further, meaning not being in Gaza or the West Bank, cancel Trump's Gaza peace plan entirely, lift all sanctions on Iran immediately and return every cent of frozen funds, recognize Iran's full nuclear rights, no limits, no inspections, complete withdrawal from Lebanon, Syria, and Yemen, no more interference, evacuate every U.S. military base from Arab and Muslim soil. Trump must publicly apologize to Khamenei on live TV, pay Iran full compensation for decades of sanctions, assassinations, and economic war, officially dismantle the Zionist entity and recognize its elimination from the map. Guys, they're saying, as per repeated by the IRGC of regime statements, it says, wipe Israel off the map. Dreamed of destroying Israel since I was 6. Our goal is to eliminate Israel from existence. And then they capped it with the classic, that is no great matter for God. That is just, those are the conditions, guys. Does
I see like 3, 4 niggas running through the crib, all black, mask on, running through the crib and shit. One nigga run to the front door. I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Shot the nigga. Bow, shot his ass. Bow, 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 bow. All the niggas run out the door, they run out the door. This nigga on the floor.
Does anyone think any of that is going to happen? Like, in any imagination? So I wanted to show this to you because understand, they know the US is not going to do any of this, at least most of it. I don't even know what they would do. But they've also offered that they will open the Strait of Hormuz to any countries that actually kick out any American or Israeli ambassador. And then they will allow that country to allow their oil and their resources to come through the Strait of Hormuz, which is bleeding a lot of countries dry right now. And it is turning into, I think, the greatest economic disaster, I think, ever. Of course, our lifetime, but I think in history, we have never seen anything like this before. So understand these conditions, the US is not going to capitulate to this. So until this happens, they're going to keep going. But I think there's a reason why they've made these demands like this, obviously. But one of the key thing that people are not seeing is that they see this as a holy war against the Antichrist. So let's get into this article. For hardline Shiite ideologues from Tehran to Dearborn to Northern Virginia, the focus of America's war on Iran is the arrival of the Mahdi, Islam's awaited messianic figure, whose reappearance they believe will be preceded by the emergence of Dajjal, Islam's version of the Antichrist, and the name they attach to Dajjal is Donald Trump. This is being preached on American soil, in American cities, to American children. Sarah Gorbani, a writer and women's rights activist who fled Iran's theocratical rule, in 2010 stated, "We're fighting an evil that the world doesn't truly comprehend in its belief that it has a divine mandate to usher in a day of apocalypse." Adding, "Our brave people in Iran are fighting a tyranny that believes it is God's salvation for this earth, when in fact it is a cruel and ungodly regime that is actually their own prophecy of Dajjal." Al-Masih ad-Dajjal, literally the deceitful Messiah, an Islam's supreme figure of evil in the end times. This is the Antichrist. He does not appear in the Quran by name, but Islamic Hadith literature, the collected sayings and traditions attributed to Muhammad, describes him in vivid detail. He will appear before the day of judgment, claim to be the promised Messiah, as blind in one eye. The Dajjal is blind in one eye, and his eye looks like a bulging grape. He is the master of inversion and illusion. One hadith warns that the Dajjal will come and he will have water and fire with him. What the people will see as water will burn, and what they see as fire will be cool and sweet water. He seduces the wealth, sows chaos, and tests the faith of believers. Another tradition cautions. I'm sorry, I'm doing a run on. Another tradition cautions, whoever hears of the Dajjal, let him keep away from him. By Allah, a man will come to him thinking himself to be a believer, but will follow him because of the doubts he will raise in his mind. For Western readers, the parallel to the Christian Antichrist is immediate. In Christian eschatology, rooted largely in the books of Revelation and the letters of John, the Antichrist is a deceptive world leader who will rise to power in the last days, demand worship, and wage war against the righteous before being destroyed in Christ's return. Both figures share core traits: deception, false messianic claims, global reach, and a final defeat. The Dajjal is defeated in Islamic tradition near Lod, Israel, a detail not lost on those watching events in this region. There is nobody in the contemporary Shiite world more despised than Donald Trump. His maximum pressure sanctions campaign devastated the Iranian economy.
I see like 3, 4 niggas running through the crib, all black, mask on, running through the crib and shit. One nigga run to the front door. I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Shot the nigga. Bow, shot his ass. Bow, 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 bow. All the niggas run out the door, they run out the door. This nigga on the floor.
His administration ordered the killing of Qasem Soleimani, the commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, Quds Force. His full-throated support of Israel makes him, in Shiite eyes, an agent of everything their eschatology warns against. It was only a matter of theological time before he became the Dajjal. A senior cleric appointed by Iran's supreme leader made this explicit in a sermon last year. Syed Hassan Ameli, Khamenei's representative to deliver Friday prayers in the northwestern city of Ardabil, told his congregation he is completely one-eyed, and this is a sign of the end times. Wait, is Trump one-eyed? Is that supposed to be just like spiritually one-eyed? Because I'm not getting it. Okay. Well, Ameli elaborated. The new U.S. president has a completely one-sided view. Okay, so it's one-sided view. He sees the world purely through a materialistic lens and openly declares that America is a business corporation. He covets wealth wherever it exists, whether it's Middle Eastern oil, Syrian oil, or Ukraine's minerals. The Hadith-based case being made in these sermons runs as follows. Trump's alleged one-sided worldview fulfills the prophecy of the one-eyed Dajjal. His wealth and business empire mirror the hadith that the Dajjal will come with rivers of water and mountains of bread and will call the people to his false religion. His confrontation with Iran represents the Dajjal's assault on the forces of the Mahdi. Even a Russian military commander has joined this course. General, I'm not saying his name, speaking about Iran, declared, "If it were up to me, I would provide them with every weapon at my disposal to stand alongside them and help repel the ground offensive, this army of the Antichrist Dajjal." So this is a Russian military commander. At a recent Friday sermon, and that ties in with Russia, guys, things that are happening with Russia. I gave a little bit yesterday. After an hour-long call Trump had with Putin, they have now lifted. First, last week, They lifted off sanctions so that Russia could sell oil to India. Now they have lifted all sanctions off of Russian oil. And now Russia, because the EU said that they were going to phase out Russian oil by 2028, well, he said, no need to wait for that. Let's do it right now, because he knows the EU is in trouble because of the Strait of Hormuz, which I don't see opening anytime soon. They said that a ship was escorted through, and it wasn't. I've told you the ships are actually going through, and these are not American ships. There are other countries that are allowing to pass through. And I forget who actually, I think the energy secretary posted that ship was escorted through. He posted about that, and then he deleted it. Okay. And now we know that Trump said that they need to have courage, and just go through the Strait of Hormuz. Don't worry about what Iran is saying, that you need to take some courage and just fight through the Strait of Hormuz. But Iran has made it clear, no ship is passing through here unless we say so. Right. And they don't need a Navy, guys. People are saying, well, their Navy is gone. The Navy, they don't need that. They don't need that in order to attack these ships in the Strait. All right. But that's a whole nother thing. But anyway, at a recent Friday sermon at a local Shiite mosque in Northern Virginia, an imam closed prayer with an earnest plea, may Allah destroy all non-believers, or kafirun, I think that's saying kafirun, or munafiqun, I'm not trying, using Arabic words that refer to non-believers and hypocrites. He asked for this victory before the arrival of Imam Mahdi. The Fox News digital investigation observed the sermon and also witnessed a special table of honor in the middle of the mosque's main prayer hall, featuring framed photos of Khamenei embracing Hamas terrorist leader Yahya Sinwar and Hezbollah leader Hassan Nasrallah, both killed by Israel for orchestrating terrorist attacks. The mosque itself has a document. Last summer, the Manassas Mosque co-organized a White House protest with the Party for Socialism and Liberation, the Answer Coalition, Code Pink, and other far-left groups to support the Iranian regime. At the protest, one demonstrator wearing a black and white Palestinian kafeh scarf over her face carried a flag that read, I'm not pronouncing it, it's in Arabic, "At your service, O Mahdi." In Farsi, Arabic, and English, the flag also carried the message, I dedicate every single of my step to your reappearance. After the recent Friday service, two community leaders at the Manassas Mosque declined to speak for the attribution, but told Fox News Digital that the rhetoric of destroying non-believers and the photos of Khamenei and the terrorist group leaders are meant to challenge injustice before the Mahdi appears. That is the institutional defense. Mass prayers for the destruction of non-believers are framed as social justice activism in anticipation of a messianic arrival. Secretary of State Marco Rubio warned about this theological dynamic in early February, noting that Iran's leaders are guided not merely by geopolitics and national security considerations, but by pure theology. We have to understand that Iran ultimately is governed and its decisions are governed by Shiite clerics, radical Shiite clerics who make policy decisions on the basis of pure theology, Rubio said. On March 1st, the Hadi Institute in Dearborn held a memorial service for Khamenei, referring to him as the great leader of our time. The event was recorded and went viral after being shared by the nonprofit Middle East Media Research Institute. During the event, poet and lawyer Hassan Salami recited poetry, claiming that while it may appear that Zionist Jews led the attack on Khamenei, it was actually Satan leading their camp. He asserted that whether the stooge in the Oval Office is Republican or Democrat, the United States was built for and by the Epstein class. Salami added that Americans live on stolen land controlled by devil-worshiping Freemasons, and cited conspiracy theories about the one-eyed devil on the US dollar, and explicitly called the Statue of Liberty Lucifer, the demonic bearer holding a torch of light. Well, they can say it's conspiracy. This part, I feel like this is kind of intermingling some things that I've even talked about on here on the founding of the country and there's not just Muslims who believe all of that, but we've been founded by Freemasons. I've shown you some of that before. Like, it's all over. There's a pentagram in DC. Again, I'm not I don't agree anything with what they're saying, but understand, I don't want to muddy the water here as though Muslims came up with that. Okay. There's many people who have done research on it, and many Christians actually have led the way in researching these things. I mean, literally, George Washington, who was supposed to sit, there's a statue of George Washington, who was originally supposed to sit on top of Congress, but instead it's Columbia. And I've gone into who that is. It's actually Ishtar, Isis, Diana. It's a god known through many different cultures and different names. I tied that back to Nimrod, Gilgamesh.
Your discretion is advised. Sometimes I do too much talking, but this time I'm going to let him dig his own grave. I literally just dropped a 10-minute long video on the two of them, and it was removed immediately. So I put it in my subscription area, and to be honest, I'm happy because it is very graphic and X-rated and vulgar and obscene, if I'm being quite honest. And why, you ask, what could possibly be so vulgar? Well, if you want to hear both of them, who I say are the same person, talk about this, if you get my drift, well, then go watch the video. And I think if you watch the video, it might be the final straw to break the camel's back, to get you over the hump.
Over here, I had lunch. I was buried in a beaver. How was your lunch? I don't have sound. Just make sure that John help us. There's a mic up there.
To know that what I've been saying for months about them, not only that they're the same entity, but they're literally Lucifer in the flesh. Just go watch the video. It's 10 minutes long, and it's not a lot of me talking. It's a lot of them talking and exposing themselves. A lot of truth in plain sight, and a lot of disgusting things where if you're a fan of either of them, you might not be after. So if you don't want to not be a fan, you shouldn't watch. Not
researching these things. I mean, literally, George Washington, who was supposed to sit, there's a statue of George Washington, who was originally supposed to sit on top of Congress, but instead it's Columbia. And I've gone into who that is. It's actually Ishtar, Isis, Diana. It's a god known through many different cultures and different names. I tied that back to Nimrod, Gilgamesh. She was the mother of Gilgamesh, but then also became his wife. But then she had married her father and had Nimrod. Like, it's a whole mess, right? Okay, so I just don't want to convolute those two things, and it seems like they're convoluting that into this, but we got to make sure we separate that. Okay. The Dajjal theology and the one-eyed devil on American currency is seen as being explicitly described in the Hadith. Description of the one-eyed deceiver, America itself, in the Dajjal's domain. Osama, spiritual leader of the Hadi Institute and its affiliated Hadi Montessori early childhood school, offered condolences and congratulations to Khamenei's memory for achieving the ultimate honor after 86 years of jihad in the way of Allah. He expressed particular appreciation to the mothers who brought their children to the memorial so that our children will grow up with this culture where we remember our martyrs and we are not ashamed of them. In an upcoming report, the Ayatollah's Influence Network in the United States The National Union for Democracy in Iran concludes that the Islamic Republic spreads Tehran's messaging through a network of U.S. institutions it supports, pitting Trump as the Dajjal fighting defenders of the Mahdi like Khamenei and now his successors, because this is the thing that we need to focus on. Again, they see him as the Antichrist that they are fighting, right? And that he is fighting against their Mahdi, their Messiah coming forth. So you understand how entrenched this belief is that this is a holy war, and why I don't see how this is going to end unless they would have to capitulate in their minds to the Antichrist, right? And this will, condemn them to hell or whatever it is that they believe, that they will not enter into paradise, right? With all the virgins and all that other stuff. So this is why this is, if you don't understand this key element, you're just going to see the news and who's bombing who and what's happening here and what's happening there. And, oh, this could end really soon. But between this belief and that list of demands, you're seeing, unless they completely wipe out Iran, I don't see how that happens. What we're seeing, and I'm not saying I want the civilians wiped out in Iran. I'm not saying that. I'm just giving you this hypothetical of this is what would have to happen. And we've always got to keep our spiritual eyes open, guys, because we know the world is not seeing these things with spiritual eyes, but we are. And this is another layer that we need to add on top of it. What we're seeing is years of deliberate investment in the Islamic Republic inside the United States. Galili told Fox News Digital, this is happening on American soil, and it's just another way which the regime poses a direct threat to the United States, this time not with missiles, but through infiltration. Iran's state-run Islamic Republic news agency has also been repeating the end times narrative, quoting Hezbollah's Secretary General Sheikh Naim Qasem, claiming that the regime is the government of Imam Mahdi and that its anti-U.S. resistance is the path to hastening his reappearance. After war broke out, pro-regime chats on messaging platforms like Telegram filled with prayer awaiting the arrival of Mahdi. We need al-Mahdi. His return with Jesus will be the final win permanently, one read. Wait. What? Hold on. So their Mahdi is supposed to return with Jesus? When I tell you, okay, this is new for me. I'm going to have to investigate this. Is this someone's just personal belief, or is they believing that their Messiah is going to return with Jesus, but Jesus is the Messiah? He is the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords. He is the only way to the Father. So I know they say they have reverence for Jesus and that he was a great figure or a prophet, but that doesn't make sense. And Jesus must have been lying completely if that's the case. That doesn't make any sense. It just seems as though they're trying to muddy the waters and put the two together. But again, that could just be somebody's personal interpretation. I will have to dig more into that. In Twelver Schism, the dominant form of Shiite Islam practiced in Iran, the Mahdi is the 12th Imam, a direct descendant of Muhammad, who went into occultation, divine hiding in the 9th century CE, and is expected to return to establish a global Islamic caliphate. The Dajjal's appearance is one of those key signs of the Mahdi's imminent return. A Shiite hadith attributed to Muhammad states, whoever denies al-Mahdi has denied God, and whoever accepts al-Dajjal has denied God. The theological stakes could not be higher. Before the Mahdi's reappearance, Islamic tradition holds that the world will descend into total moral collapse. Immorality and ignorance will be universal. The Quran will be forgotten and religion will be abandoned. Then come the plagues, earthquakes, floods, and wars. According to Islamic eschatology in both Sunni and Shiite traditions, the sequence of events unfolds as follows: that Mahdi will emerge and lead his army from modern-day Iran toward Damascus, Syria. At the Umayyad Mosque in Damascus, Jesus, okay, now we're getting into Jesus. Jesus, whom Islam holds, did not die on the cross, but was raised to heaven and will return, will descend and pray behind the Mahdi, submitting to his leadership. The combined forces will then march to defeat the Dajjal in a final battle, with his death occurring near Lod, Israel. So they, again, and this is what people have to be careful of. And I've seen a lot of mixing of this, that, oh, Muslims have respect for Jesus. They honor Jesus. Save your respect. Save your honoring of Jesus. Okay? Because Jesus would have to be a liar. He is the only begotten son. He died on the cross for our sins, that we are all born into sin. We are all sinners in need of a savior. And that the only way to be reunited, to be with the Father, God in heaven, is to believe in Jesus Christ, who died on the cross and rose again 3 days later. Now, you see how this could muddy the waters with some people who are lukewarm, or Christians who don't really know their word. They would say, well, at least they respect him. At least it doesn't matter. They are saying that Jesus Christ is not God. He is not the Son of God, that he is not part of the Trinity, that Jesus Christ has no power, that he didn't take the sin of the world on the cross. And that is in itself anti-Christ. But do you know how many people are being deceived by this right now? I am seeing it all over the place. I'm seeing it all. And I couldn't understand how they were tying Jesus to anything. And now, because I just skimmed this article earlier, I did not get to this part. This is very important for us to understand, that Jesus is going, he just ascended to heaven, and he's going to bow down and worship their Mahdi, their Messiah figure. Absolute blasphemy. Absolutely, this is Antichrist. Jesus figures prominently in Islamic eschatology.
I see like 3, 4 niggas running through the crib, all black, mask on, running through the crib and shit. One nigga run to the front door. I hop out, I start shooting. Bow, 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 bow. Shot the nigga. Bow, shot his ass. Bow, 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 bow. All the niggas run out the door. They run out the door. This nigga on the floor.
But not the Jesus of Christian faith. And this Islamic, Jesus is going, he just ascended to heaven, and he's going to bow down and worship their Mahdi, their Messiah figure. Absolute blasphemy. Absolutely, this is Antichrist. Jesus figures prominently in Islamic eschatology, but not the Jesus of Christian faith. In this Islamic framework, Jesus returns not as the divine Son of God, but as a Muslim prophet who was never crucified. His mission upon return is to abolish the Christian cross, kill the pig, and call all Christians to convert to Islam. Oh, child, in the name